We're back for episode 30 in the Cali Jacks How Not to Game uh, Simutrans tutorials. For those of you wondering why maybe you didn't see the previous episode, I did do a typo, so I did not make it kids friendly. So if you're set for kids friendly, that's why. It's one of those typos that gets you in trouble. So rather than run the risk of being reported, I just flagged it as up. So and I made my note so I remind myself that it's not for kids this time around. Luckily, it wasn't something I said. Anyhow, as we follow along with this bus, we can see he's slowly on the stage line between the two towns, building up the shopper's gauge. And we're looking pretty decent. He's losing money still, but not a ton. The ones in town are losing a lot more. So now it's time to start connecting in these other two communities, Hillville and Paulingville. And also, we've got something else fun here. We've got a castle to serve. So I'm going to bring this out, and down the road, I'm going to probably serve these guys in a slightly different way. We've also got another iron mine that can go back over and tie in to go back that way. It would require, well, we've already got this siding for passing, so that makes it halfway decent to do. So, there's things we can do this time around. So, first things first, just add one town. Everything in town that's developed so far is covered by this one bus stop. Perfect. But we're going to extend this road a little bit out to the west and put another bus stop on it to try to get the town to grow out that way. Down the road, we may do some other things as well. We'll also notice there's a double road line area here where we can build through a broader roadway for down the road. That might have been a good idea to develop at this point in time, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to spend much more money than I have to right now. So again, we're going to get two more buses out of the bus barn. Got to stick with those empires. They seem to be doing okay. So copy the convoy to get the second one. Slide this guy over. We're going to be connecting up Paulingville with Wells. And before we get going too far, Paulingville, again, let's call this city in credit to one of those early games of the video game generations that I remember playing. Pongtown. No, I got a better idea. I have a better idea. Instead of tipping a hat to that, let's call this no, we don't. Sticky keys. Didn't mean to hold the shift down that long. Let's call this Lima. Not after just Peru, but because it's kind of a limit for this company. It's not going to go much further west, so this is kind of our western bounder with this. Change the city names on the already put down ones. Wish it did it automatically, but it doesn't. that's all right. I actually don't mind going in unless I've changed the name on a big city. That's when it gets tough. Do it early before you've got a lot of service in the town. And then Hillville is going to come the Vales. There we go. Change it before we get into it. All right, we've got those two buses. Let's set up our first run. First run is going to be to try to get the city to grow. So doing this might help. We will see. It's going to be a loser. We know we're going to be losing money early. I know that. This is how not to game. If you were playing outside of free play mode, you'd be bankrupt and out of business following my methodology. So this is the ETC Lima Town Coach. Start him off, and then we will do the Lima Wells stage line. Looking fairly decent there. Now it's time to think about that railroad stuff. Still got a few minutes here, so let's go ahead and lay the basic railroad. We're going to stay on this one here. Get him up onto this. Ooh. Now there's an answer. Watch this. Now we didn't take a grade, and that's something railroads are notorious for, is not taking a grade. Okay. Build the rail down here. Straighten for our crossover. Get him sort of straight. There we go. Now we got to straighten the road a little bit to permit this. And you take out one section of road. And just like you see a lot of times, the roads straighten up so that they're crossing the railroad straight across, not at a diagonal as much as possible. And then close the road, put that rail across. Okay, we're going to need one set of signals. There. Come out to here, put in our depot to take and load them onto, or our loading platform. And now we got to get him over to there. Now this is going to be a long dispatch line. And I'm tempted to do something. I've had a question for quite some time about whether or not I can do something here. And I think it's time to do that something. Because of how far we're going. Gives us 8 cars. Maybe 9. Let's see. Ninth one go in. Ninth one just fits in. but he's going to stick out. I know that causes problems. All right, so we're going to schedule him to go from the mine, and we need to take and expand this guy. 2 more. And then come over here and build a special inbound for him to take and deliver to. And then he's got to go back out this way. Use that waypoint function to take and use that outbound rail line. We need to call this the Lima Long. Ore hauler. Long line, dummy. Long line ore hauler. All right, so we've got our setup done. Down the road, we can dig a cut through this ridge here to level this out, hopefully, so that we don't take this up, down, that we've got here now. And down the road, we'll figure out what we're going to do about everything here. Do we split it here, do things, things we need to take and start looking at. As you see, that's a huge train to take and be hauling around. That's our first big, long train. Our first 2 engine train. Yes, you can stack engines. You can stack power units on your trains. You don't have to do it with just one. Not all of them allow it, though. Certain steam engines can only have one. Some allow you to do the DPU position, where it's the distributed power back to the back or the middle. Others do not. And I think that's a good spot to end this video. Hey, I'm Callie Jack. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. If anybody does feel like subscribing, feel free to do so. It's up to you. I'm going to keep making these for a while, unless something unforeseen event happens. Hey, thanks again, and have a better day than I'm having.